Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. Welcome back. Today I wanted to show you how we apply Saphir Cordovan Cream to every piece of shell cordovan for every wallet that we send out. It gives it a really nice fill and nice bright shiny luster. Let's give you a quick preview of some of the stuff that's shipping out today. And we've got a brand new item. And this is a Johnny the Fox in color number 4 shell cordovan. We've got a brand new color number 4 horsehide interior. And this is a Horween Latigo leather on the inside. Some of the wallets that are shipping out today include a natural shell cordovan Fat Herbie, intense blue shell cordovan Frank the Enforcer, natural shell cordovan with a reverse interior Johnny the Fox, whiskey shell cordovan Fat Herbie, a natural double reverse Fat Herbie, ultraviolet shell cordovan Fat Herbie, 100% color number 8 shell cordovan Johnny the Fox, a natural Lancaster Johnny the Fox, and a natural Chrome XL Johnny the Fox. All right, just before I started shooting this video here, we did a little demo with Amir in the shop, showing you how we use the Saphir Cordovan Cream, and we'll show you our process so you can repeat that process on any shell cordovan item that you might have, including any shell wallet that we make, but also shell cordovan boots and shoes. All right, Amir, thanks for helping me show everybody what the Saphir does. Tell me what you observed that the Cordovan Cream does on the shell cordovan.
Yes, so I noticed that it really fills in the shell and can give it a nice luster.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at how you do this.
Here, it'll be a little bit darker. Don't freak out, that's okay.
Especially in the natural, it seems to cream. We
Also,
waited about 10 minutes here with the Saphir applied to the shell. So what are you gonna do now, Amir?
so now I'm just gonna hit it with the brush, and I'm gonna make broad strokes to get the full effect of the brush. And you wanna get that heat and friction to really get a nice luster and a shine. And you can already start to see it.
And I noticed that you have 2 brushes there.
Yeah, so I like to start by knocking off some of the Saphir with a firmer tempered brush. So that'll get me where I want to be. And then if you really want the wallet to sing, you get something a little bit softer. And then you just keep bringing that shine up. And you want to make these broad strokes so you get the full action of the brush. Kind of like Bob Ross. Beat the devil out of it.
So on the right we've brushed here, and on the left, still needs to get brushed, so we still see the haziness of the Saphir. Now here's the wallet that we did in the demo for the Cordovan Cream, and this is the natural shell cordovan Fat Herbie. Just check out how nice that one shined up. It's got a really bright, shiny luster now. It's almost like a piece of glass. And this natural shell Fat Herbie, this has got a special place in my heart because this is one of our first wallets that we've ever made in this exact leather and the same design. We haven't changed this design at all in the almost 10 years of our existence. And I still really love the aesthetic, especially when we get that Horween ink stamp right in the center. Just what a beautiful piece. Let's quickly take a closer look at this brand new Johnny the Fox. This is a limited run Johnny the Fox for us, with a beautiful piece of color number 4 shell cordovan on the outside. And what's new and special about this one is we made a custom horsehide interior for this Johnny the Fox to match the color 4 on the outside. So we've got color 4 horsehide in the interior with color 4 shell on the outside. I think this is a really great look with the matching color on the inside and out. I'm trying to get more wallets, more options for you with matching interiors and exteriors. These are available on the site right now for a nice discount as well. So if you're looking to get one of these, we only have a few made. Check it out on the sale page of our website. Check out this intense blue shell cordovan Frank the Enforcer. This one is also shipping out today. I've got really nice aqua blue undertones coming up from underneath the shell on this Frank the Enforcer. Just a really beautiful shade. This is probably one of the nicest, a more vibrant, intense blue shell pieces that I've seen recently. Here's another natural shell cordovan item, and this is on our most popular style, the Johnny the Fox. Most people are picking up foxes right now. So we've been trying to make a few more options. on that wallet. And this one has a really great piece of natural shell on the outside. I'm opening it up like this just because it looks so nice with this larger context of shell. I like when you get to see a little bit more area. And what's really interesting about this shell and most every shell is the color sort of changes before your eyes depending on what angle you look at it. So I'm noticing, looking down at it from the angle I'm looking now, it's much lighter than when I pull it this way. It darkens up and almost turns a little bit more orange. So the natural shell is a really cool dynamic color. On the inside, we've paired this one with a really cool reverse interior. And I know I say really cool a lot, but I really like this random dye marks and all the random tan colors on the interior of this Johnny the Fox. Next up is a really cool and rare whiskey shell Cordovan Fat Herbie. And this one, I believe the customer ordered this whiskey shell alongside a natural. So I always like to do this and give a little comparison between the two colors because they're similar, yet when you compare them next to each other, it's quite different. So on the right is the natural. You can see it's a little bit more tan. It's a little lighter, and I see reddish tones at certain angles, where the whiskey on the left is a little bit more golden. There's a little bit more yellow color to it, which is very satisfying. The tannery does not make a lot of this whiskey shell Cordovan, so we're very fortunate to be able to get this whenever we do, and I'm always glad to see it in my favorite wallet, the Fat Herbie. So here's another Fat Herbie. This just gives me such joy to look at the Herbies because I like the large context of the shells where you get to see like a big piece of shell on any item. There's something about larger context that just makes everything look a little bit more interesting to me. But this is a natural shell Cordovan double reverse Fat Herbie. And double reverse is also kind of weird because it's not like a thing that makes any sense to say, but the reason we call it double reverse is we were originally making the wallets like this. So this would be a natural shell Cordovan Fat Herbie. And if we were to flip the interior pieces around with this on the outside, we would call it a reverse interior. But then we had people that wanted some of both. We wanted reverse and shell on the inside and the outside. So we flipped the inside around and then flipped this middle piece around, double reverse. Confusing, convoluted, but that's why we call it what we call it. So double reverse means that we get shell and reverse shell on the outside, as well as shell and reverse shell on the inside. And on the inside here, we have reverse card slots. And when we double up on the reverse here, it gives us this cool contrast between the reverse shells on the left and right with that natural shell in the middle. Now here's another very special Fat Herbie, and we've been out of stock of this guy for a long time. This is the ultraviolet shell Cordovan Fat Herbie. It's a really beautiful, almost like a dark magenta shade. And I really hope the color shows up properly for this guy because it's subtle. I think in certain lights, it can look a little bit more like a color 8. And then other angles that you look at it, it gets more pink, a little bit more purple. So it's ultraviolet is sort of like the perfect word to describe it. It's a violet shade, but like a vibrant, vivid, bright purple shade. And what I like most about these is the reverse side has really interesting dye marks and dye stains that you can see on the center there. So this Johnny the Fox is probably one of the brightest shells that I've ever seen. Check out how bright and shiny the luster is on the exterior of this 100% color 8 shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. This is our most popular style in that color 8 shell on the inside and on the outside. And it's difficult for us to get the shells for the interior of the Johnny the Fox. And it's important for me to say that's because we need the leather to be very thin to accommodate all these layers of leather on the inside of the Johnny the Fox. If we pick regular shells, this wallet gets super thick. And some people have noted that, hey, why don't you just thin down the leather? Well, for us, that's a very dramatic thing to do. When you thin down the shells, or any leather for that matter, you really lose a lot of the substance of the leather itself, and you also lose the strength along with that substance. The fibers sort of work together as a mesh that includes the shell. So if you start to cut down some fibers sort of from the foundation of the leather, you really lose a lot of integrity and strength to the leather. So for that reason, we do not like to thin down any of the leather, especially the shells. And it takes a bit of patience for us to wait until we find the naturally occurring thin pieces of shells, like on this Johnny the Fox. Here we have another very popular item. This is our Bugs Moran in natural chrome excel. I think this might be our second most popular wallet right now. I believe the most popular is the English Tan Dublin John the Fox, but a lot of people have been picking up this Bugs Moran in natural chrome excel, and I think what it is people are really into the form factor of the Bugs Moran. It's sort of perfectly sized. We spent a bit of effort and trial and error trying out different sizes of this minimalist wallet, and this was the best that we could come up with. We tried maybe 10 different versions. Just really liked this one the most. It's compact yet full functional, which is why we like it. So what's cool about it is the card holders, there are 4 of them. The 2 on the top will only fit regular credit cards. However, the larger 2 card slots underneath, those will fit folded US dollars. If you fold $1 in half, they'll fit perfectly underneath each side. Last and finally up today, this is a brand new leather from Horween, the Natural Lancaster, and we've made this on 2 different wallets. This is a John of the Fox, but we also make it on the Fat Herbie, which I've been wearing this Fat Herbie, gosh, it must be about 125 days or so. I stopped keeping count at 100. So it starts off this very nice light tan color, sort of the lightest possible color that Horween can make, which is why we chose it. We wanted to try a leather that was very light, almost like a white, if possible. And that's how this Natural Lancaster came out. We were hoping to get a little bit of a darkening effect, but I think as a consequence and a side effect of how they tanned the leather to get it so light, it sort of wants to stay light. So even after about 125 days of wear, I'm still noticing that the color is very much a light shade. It's a little bit darker than when it started, but the big difference that I'm observing is the change in luster. So you can see on the John of the Fox here that is new and unworn, this is almost like a dull matte finish. There's not very much luster to it at all. Maybe a subtle sheen, but it's almost like a dull finish. And on this Fat Herbie that I've been wearing, what I love most about it is how much shine it has started to pick up. Take a look at that. We're also seeing some characteristics in this Lancaster, the more I wear it, that are very inherent to any veg tan leather. And you might be able to see it on the right there, where my cards are starting to become enveloped by the leather itself. It's almost like it's molding around where the cards are. That's a characteristic of veg tan leathers. It will mold and conform around anything you put inside. So I really like my Natural Lancaster Fat Herbie here. And I'm super pumped that somebody is picking up a Natural Lancaster John of the Fox to try out this aging experiment with me. There's only a handful of people in the world that have even tried this leather, so I can't wait for you to check it out too. Wow, thanks for checking out all the good stuff today. If you guys want any more clarification on how to use the Saphir Cordovan Cream, definitely let me know. It's a really, really good product for filling in even mild abrasions on the leather. It does have a nice bit of wax in it, so it fills in scuffs and scratches very well, as well as leaving a bright, shiny luster. And you can see this is the one we use in the shop. So thanks everybody for checking it out. Hope you have a good weekend and take care.